Hey y'all, it's Curious Raven. I have one story for y'all today. It's a little bit longer. Let's get into it. It is by Karweedghost, and it's called My Experiences. Didn't realize they were ghosts till I lost 90% of my vision. When I was 4 or 5, traveling across the country, I saw a beautiful long blonde hair woman in a long sleeve dress with tiny flowers printed standing in the middle of a flat golden plain with the wind blowing her hair and dress, and I knew she had died by a wildfire soon after. I still remember the image and thought later maybe reincarnation memory. 9 years old, Air Force brat, we visited Turkey. There was a tunnel leading up to the Colosseum grounds from the cages and prison cells below, and I saw a woman in a traditional biblical garb with a blue shawl over her hair, bent over with her hands on the wall for support, blinking up into the sunlight. I had the overwhelming urge to touch the wall where her hand had been. Just my imagination? Years go by and I am diagnosed with an incurable eye disease. My sister and I go on a road trip for historical sites while I still can. And then I knew this was a ghost energy. Shiloh National Cemetery Park, walking around, I saw a copse of trees with one Confederate marker among Union markers, and I wondered how he got there. Suddenly in my mind's eye, I saw a very young slim man with a dark hair stumble out of the dense brush and be confronted by the sight of Union men sitting around a fire. Imagination again? Later, my sister and I were standing at the dedication plaque podium, and my sister said how sad this place made her feel. Suddenly, I felt a sense of pride and said how proud that their sacrifice was being honored. Then felt joy and laughed and tried to shoulder bump the Confederate ghost I knew, could not see, standing beside me. Sight deteriorated fast, facial recognition gone. It's a blurry world. By the way, I can only type on my phone close to my face. Black screen, white lettering. Allen, Texas, standing outside grocery store, waiting on my ride. I look up, and not 2 feet from me is an older gentleman with full head of gray hair and bushy mustache, smiling and staring at me, not saying a word. At the time, I didn't wonder how I could see him so clearly. Minutes go by, silence. I'm wondering if he is just standing there judging me, my attire, etc. I turn my back on him and ignore him. Thought no more about it until 2 years later, living in Texas. Again, outside waiting for my ride. He's there, 2 feet from me, silent and smiling at me. 75-mile distance from the last time I saw him. That's when I realized I can see him as I did in Allen because I recognized him from Allen. Remember, facial recognition is gone. I can't even see myself in the mirror. That shocked me. I don't know him. I walked away. Now you're going to say I am crazy or hallucinating. 4 years later, I'm living in Kentucky, and I visit an Amish store as I am waiting in line at the cashier. And I see an Amish couple in traditional garb standing perfectly still staring at me. I see her clearly with her bonnet and long dark green dress, slim, with hard lines on her face, wrinkles. She barely comes to her husband's shoulders. I look at him and see his white shirt and red suspenders, but there is a black blob that covers his face and part of his shoulder. Okay, I think. Blind spot from my eyesight, not wondering why I can see her so clearly. Turn to look at the cashier and I can see her plump, blonde, middle-aged with glasses smiling at me and suddenly think she is connected to the couple. Then memory lapse until I found myself with a receipt in my hand saying it will be okay, to a crying cashier who won't look up at me. Last experience was December 5th, 2023, a weekend getaway with my sister and her daughter-in-law, Nashville, Tennessee, Broadway Street bar hopping. I had slowed down drinking and had switched to water as we walked into Blake's place. Daughter-in-law was very drunk and got nose to nose with the bouncer. Suddenly, I felt such pride for the bouncer and could see him and daughter-in-law clearly. He stood there stoic and unresponsive to daughter-in-law, barrage of drunk BS till she gave up and moved on. He had a black stocking cap and a heavy coat and gloves on. Roundish face, but not fat, small nose and thin lips. I went to the back of the dance floor and planted myself there so my sister would know where I was and listened and enjoyed the band with my water. To the right of me I saw, as if in a spotlight, a tall blonde man in a red, short-sleeved t-shirt and huge biceps standing there just staring at me, not drinking or moving to the music as the blurry guys behind him were. Song after song, he just stood there watching me. I felt a little self-conscious. I am now 60, so what the hell? Eventually my sister came to tell me it was time to leave to get daughter-in-law to hotel. Memory lapse, not drunk, had been on water. Don't remember anything until we were outside on the sidewalk when the bouncer came running out to me, grabbed my arm with a shocked expression on his face and demanded, "What did you just say to me? What did you just say to me?" "I don't know," I chiefly said. "Best band?" And he stood back and watched us as we moved on down the road. I believe the red shirt with a ghost connected to him and said something to him through me. Unlike Shiloh, like Amish store, I don't know what the message was. If I hadn't affected these two people the way I had, I would think I had hallucinations or a very vivid imagination. But seeing the stoic bouncer so shook up convinced me, and I am trying to find explanation validation, that I am not crazy. That I do not think you are. I see ghosts. I don't see them all the time, just sometimes. It's like maybe once to twice a year, I'll see them really in detail. And then sometimes they'll talk to me through my mind. I can hear them and we talk to each other. But it only happens for like a couple of seconds. It's not like I'm just chilling and sitting and talking with a ghost, but all the other days, I'll see the black little shadows, go around the corners and out the corner of my eye and all of that. So I know they're around me. It's just, I don't know why I only see some of them. But I believe you. Most definitely you have a gift. A gift. And I think these ghosts are speaking through you. That's amazing. It almost makes me think of like a shaman. So maybe you should kind of check that out. I usually wasn't going to say what I thought, but I just had to chime in because this is amazing. And don't let your gifts go to waste. Alright, everyone, that is it. That's the end of the story. I will see y'all again this coming week. I love y'all so much. But until then, remember, it's scary out there. Please like and subscribe.
I live inside my own world of make-believe. Kids screaming in the cradles, profanities. I see the world through ice covered in ink and bleach. Cross